Okay, hey guys, what is up, Mega Gamer? Last gaming story for today, I promise. This is the fourth and final one, so bear with me. And I think this is the most interesting one. This is definitely a bit of a late story. This happened like last month. But since this kind of personally relates to me in a small way because it takes place at the EB Games Expo, which I went to. But also, it's a very interesting story that kind of comments on the whole PlayStation's the good guy and the Microsoft's the evil guy who won't do anything for the consumer. It kind of makes an interesting turn on that debate, especially since the story never really picked up. I never really saw the story until a couple of days ago, and like I was digging hard to find this story because I was like, looking at some of the results I got, like views and that analytics on my EB Expo videos, and then I ran into a video that was talking about it. Went to this article, and yeah, this surprised the hell out of me. So I had to dig deep to find this article. So I'm surprised this really didn't go viral because this is kind of a interesting story. But I decided I'm going to talk about it, and hopefully this story spreads, not for my sake, but for the article's sake, because this is a very interesting story. So let's jump right into it. So I went to the EB Games Expo. We all know that. Well, hopefully a lot of you know that. But what a lot of people didn't know was that there's a bit of a story that happened there that it's quite interesting about Sony and Microsoft. Anyway, the article was called Sony's PS4 team makes disabled fans day. So I'm not going to read directly off the article because I already read this a few times and I've kind of got the gist of everything they're saying. So but basically, if you saw my EB Games Expo footage, you will notice at the PlayStation booth, there's the whole downstairs area, and then you have to go upstairs to play the PlayStation 4 section. And there's a bit of a view up there. It's cool, but yeah, there's actually a picture in this article of the place while it's empty, so that's a good view of it. But and then with the Xbox booth, they had some Xbox Ones downstairs. You can go straight to them, but you had to go upstairs to play games like Dead Rising 3 and Rise and all of that. I'm not sure about Titanfall. I would assume you have to go upstairs for Titanfall because I didn't end up playing Titanfall, regrettably. But anyway, basically what happened, about 4 friends, they were all disabled, they were all in wheelchairs, were at the expo, and they wanted to go around, they wanted to play the new systems, obviously. So they went to the PlayStation booth and they asked someone, they're like, hey, where's the PlayStation 4s? We want to test them out. So but then the guy said, and I've actually got 2 things here because I got the article and then I've actually got like looks like a Facebook post, but it might be something else. A post of. One sec, I'm just trying to think. It doesn't really matter, but here's basically a status that the guy put. But this is exactly what he said. I'm gonna read a quote. Had an amazing day at the EB Games Expo yesterday, and here's my little story, and massive thanks to Sony and EB Games for hosting the event. For the purpose of the story, I'll let you know I'm on a wheelchair. So I guess like this, he must have known people would see this outside of his friend zone or whatever. We were going around the expo as you do, looking at all the different booths and games, when we ended up at the Sony Australia section. I don't know why I said Sony Australia, but whatever. Itching to test out the new next-gen consoles, we went inside and the worker there asked if we needed any help with anything. I asked, yes, I'd like to know where to go to test the PlayStation 4. The worker replied, oh, there's an issue with that, but please wait, I will get someone to explain it to you, and I think you'll be very pleased with our solution. So I think already you can tell what's about to happen. He's on a wheelchair. I already told you have to go upstairs for the PS4, and this guy's apologizing. But hear it out because this is actually pretty cool. This part. Wondering what was going on, we waited, and after a few minutes, along came a representative of Sony Australia and explained. First of all, I would like to say that Sony deeply apologizes as we made a massive oversight in regards to supporting a disabled player base, and we have placed all PlayStation 4s upstairs with no way for you to get up there. Again, we are extremely sorry. Really should never have happened, but because it is totally our fault, we always supported our disabled player base. We'd like to offer you something in return along with our sincerest apology. Please could you leave your name and contact details with us and we'll give you a PlayStation 4 on release date. I was shocked and said the whole console on release day for free. And he said, yes, absolutely, it's the least we can do for what we have done here. So for myself and my 3 friends also in wheelchairs, we all are getting free PlayStation 4s. Now that is actually an awesome story, Like, he's just disabled and he can't play the PS4s. If I was in that situation, I'll be very angry. And although this guy probably does live in Sydney, I have to fly over to Sydney in order to go to the expo. So I probably would have been more pissed because that just would have been a lot more effort and money for me to get over there, while for him it probably was a lot less. I'm just assuming he lives in Sydney or lives close to Sydney. I live on the other side of the country, so it obviously took me a long time to get there. But even if I did live in Sydney, I would still be fairly angry. But getting a free PlayStation 4 and my friends as well, that would be amazing. I would totally forgive him for that. I mean, if I were in his shoes, that would be fucking awesome. I would love to be in his shoes right now. Although, despite the disabled part, but that's still really good of Sony to, think that way. And you might think, okay, cool, this is something Sony, this is the right thing they should have done, they should do this anyway. Why is, kissing their ass or something? Gets worse. After that, I mean. The Xbox area had the exact same setup, and we were told is, sorry, it's upstairs, you can't try it. And we're sent off. Typical. Thank you so much, Sony, you were so amazing, and thank you, EB Games, for the great expo. So yeah, Sony gives him a free PlayStation 4. Microsoft tells him to fuck off. That's basically what happened. Now, it's a different situation because yes, the people at Microsoft probably didn't know that they would just give him free PS4s because of what happened. But and if it happened the other way around, it probably would have looked even better for Sony because, say for example, they went to the Xbox area first and they were told to buzz off, and then they went to the Sony thing. They're like, oh, you can get free PS4s. So but it still would have been amazing regardless. But here's the thing that confused me because I went to the expo. There were Xbox Ones downstairs. You didn't have to go upstairs to play the Xbox One. Like what? Now, first of all, I can understand like he's a bit pissed when they say fuck off because I'm not 18, so there were a couple of stuff that were rated R there, and it pissed me off because a lot of it wasn't even rated R yet, and some of it they wouldn't let me in didn't even end up getting rated R. They wouldn't let me play Killzone. That turned out to be rated MA, 15+, so I could play it. They wouldn't let me. So that fucking pissed me off. But at the same time, I can understand to a certain extent why they wouldn't do it because of the risk it could be rated R. I mean, it's absolutely stupid. Especially the thing that pissed me off as well was very inconsistent. Like I watched the Warner Brothers presentation and they said some of this stuff could be rated R. So if you feel like it's not sensible for you, please leave. They didn't force us to leave, they just warned us. With the actual other stuff, I know it's different from watching and playing, but still, like, come on. And then Killzone didn't even turn out to be rated R, so I was allowed to play and this didn't let me. That's fucking bullshit. But yeah, I've been told to basically fuck off the expo with some of the events there. And it's not like harsh or anything, but it's like, they basically say, oh sorry, you can't go in here. Go away, step back, basically. So yeah, that would suck, especially if you couldn't do anything about it, and the only reason you weren't allowed there is because your legs didn't work, and the Xbox team fucked up their setup. Sony fucked up their setup, but at least they made up for it by giving them bloody PlayStation 4s. Very, very good move from Sony, I have to say. What else is there to say? But yeah, like I said earlier, it's really weird because there were Xbox Ones downstairs. You could still play Killer Instinct and Forza 5 downstairs because I played both of those. So, why couldn't you play it? Huh? I don't know. I mean, yeah, those are the minor games compared to the bigger games like Rise and Dead Rising that were upstairs. But still, that part confuses me. But in the end, it still shows that Sony. Sorry. Ugh. Still shows that Sony actually do make up for this, because Sony could have easily gotten away with saying fuck off, and they couldn't do anything, they were kind of useless. I mean, they could probably do something, they could report it or, force Sony and Microsoft to like apologize or whatever, but still, Sony could have easily gotten away with it, but they didn't. They gave them free PS4s, all of them, so that was definitely the right thing to do. So again, link to the article in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Mega Gamer, and honestly, I hope this story gets picked up more often. It might just be because it was like an Australian event. Not a lot of people really thought about it. It was just not a big weekend outside of the expo. But I still had a really good time at the expo. I don't think I noticed the handicapped people. I didn't see anyone in wheelchairs there. But yeah, it didn't really cross my mind when I saw the setup. I didn't really think, what if you can't go upstairs? What if you are handicapped? But handicapped. I didn't really think about that, but you know, neither did Sony. But they made up for it. Microsoft said fuck off. So that's just the reality of the situation there. Thought I should point that out for people to hear. So thanks for watching. I'm Mega Gamer, and that's the end of my gaming news for the day. A lot of stuff to talk about. Tomorrow we'll return to playthroughs. What am I doing tomorrow? Like upload wise? I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and see ya.